Yo guys, so I just wanted to do a real quick video about some bugs in Priest at the moment. Nothing too major, but a couple of things that are currently not right and stuff you can do to avoid them and that sort of thing. So the first one is shield. Right now you need a macro for your shield, because if you shield yourself, I'll just drag this on here, and you're spamming shield, watch what happens. You get this bug where you can't reshield until you retarget. So you're going to be freaking out, think you still got weakened soul, you're going to waste globals, it's going to be super aids, and you're going to die because of it. This is pretty big. What you can do to avoid it is make a macro, and literally, my one's got mods in it just for shielding self with Shift C. You don't have to have that, you can literally just have cast power word shield and then use one at the end of it, and the use one will fix the problem. So if we use it like this now, it should be fine. So yeah, and that happens when you're targeting other players as well. And again, the one use one at the end of the macro will sort that, so that's fine. There's another issue more than a bug with Shadow Fiend or Mind Bender, whatever you've got. When you spawn it, because it's a temporary pet, it always spawns with Shadow Crawl on autocast. Even if you take it off, it will always spawn again with autocast. And I've tried using macros to instantly turn it off when you spawn it. It doesn't work either. And it's really annoying when you want to like micro your Mind Bender onto different targets, take traps with it if possible, do all kinds of cool shit. I mean, the crawl is always going to be on cooldown because of autocast, and it's a huge pain in the ass. It's not needed in PvP, aside from, you know, trying to micro with it, and you can't because it's an autocast. So yeah, it's another annoying thing. Dispel macro, yeah. Because Blizzard made two different dispels now for Priest, you've got cleanse, you've got purify, and you've got dispel magic. Dispel magic being the offensive one, and purify being the defensive one. Where's dispel? There we go. So what you can do is you can make a macro. I'll just show you that now. And it literally, it's not that one. Where is it? There we go. What you can do is you can put help harm in front of it, and what that'll do is you can just put it on one bind like it used to be. You don't have to have two different binds. And if you're targeting an enemy, it will use dispel magic, and if you're targeting a friendly player, it will use purify. Which is really nice for freeing up a bind, because you usually want quite nice binds for dispel. So the next thing I'm using is a macro for Spirit Shell, and what it does is it uses Archangel and then Spirit Shell, because neither of them are on global, and when you use Spirit Shell, you're going to want a lot of burst healing usually. You're not going to be doing any damage at that point, and it's safe to use Archangel and consume your evangelism stacks. Right, so a couple of uses I found for Spirit Shell, because I feel like it's one of the harder new disc spells to use, and no one's good to use. And right now it's great for when you're trying to tank 2 DPS, just even if you're topped off, or you're like 60% or whatever. It's got more throughput than just spamming flash heal, because it ignores wound poison, MS effects, that sort of thing, and it also scales off your mastery and your crit, believe it or not. So if you have a normal flash heal, 46k, if you pop Spirit Shell and then do that, 69k absorb. Check it again, 69k absorb. So that's like, what, a 25% increase, which is quite considerable when you're trying to tank, you know, a warrior or I don't know, a BM or 2 DPS or whatever. The other use for it is if you want to go for a drink in 2s, maybe even in 3s, you can pop it, do like 2 flash heals on your teammate, and then run off and get some drinks off. And this will actually just let them last, you know, that bit longer, and make you a bit more druid-like in going to drink and not even have to worry, you know, about drinking for 2 ticks and then just running straight back again and just feeling super aids. The next issue, which I can't really display, but it's a bug with mind control, which makes it pretty lackluster compared to Siphon, which I'll come on to next. If you cast a mind control on a warrior or a rogue or whatever, he can actually pummel you as the cast finishes. I'm sure you've had the bug before where you like land the mind control, but they get the pummel after it lands because there's a bit of delay, and it cancels it. And what this does is it puts it on cooldown, which is new compared to the old mind control. So you basically waste your mind control and get a 30-second cooldown on it, making it useless, which is pretty game breaking and kind of a hard bug to fix. The last issue being with Fiend, which has terrible AI right now. I've had it before where Dice has had a guy in a trap, and the guy is too far out to go for a normal fear because the mage would CC me. So I thought, okay, great, I'm just going to pop Fiend on him. So I put Fiend on the guy in the trap about 3 seconds before the trap ends. Fiend proceeds to fear the water elemental 3 times. Then the guy comes out of the trap, fades, and runs out of range of the Fiend. Basically, so it did nothing. And I feel like it should be targeting players over pets in all cases, which is an easy change to make. Just wanted to finish up with a couple of new macros I've had this expansion. Been over Purify, been over Spirit Shell. We've got the old favourites, which is PI. You can't PI other players anymore, so I've got rid of that macro, and I've just changed my bind up to have Shift 5 as PI and 5 as Spirit Shell, which is really nice. I've also got macro for Void Shift. What it does is it will Void Shift my pet if I've got it up, or if it's not up, it will Void Shift Dice's pet. And it actually doesn't have a global, so what you can do is you can go like this. So you can just pop your pet and you can instantly Void Shift it, and you'll get full HP, which is really nice, and no one really kills Shadow Fiends, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's like a, well, I guess you need the global to pop the Siphon, but it's essentially an off global full HP, not counting the Fiend, which is really nice. Last macro, which I've changed up a bit, is, where is it? The Mindbender. And because you're going to have 2 pets now, you're not always going to have Shadow Fiend, you're not always going to have Mindbender. What you can just do is, you can, if you want to do like a Dispel macro in your Fiend macro, you can just put @pet exists Purify at the end of it. And what that'll do is, if you've got your Shadow Fiend up, you can press the same Shadow Fiend button again and you'll Dispel it. So that's great for if it gets like Frost Nova'd or anything annoying like that. And then you see he's getting dispelled. Handy thing to note, if you actually use your Dispel magic, Purify rather now, and there are no debuffs on the target, it won't go on cooldown. So that's cool to know. And the last bug, I guess, which I hear it should be getting fixed, is the Spectral Guise breaking on dot damage. That shouldn't happen. If you have a shield when you Spectral Guise, it should act like regular stealth. So you shouldn't be able to get out unless you get AoE'd out, even if you have dots. Unless the shield breaks, of course. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the bugs / tips / macros I've got for you right now. Hopefully you found that helpful, and I'll probably do another talk through in the next couple of days. Alright, see you guys.